Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Rex Timber.
And I wasn't ready for that. I'm
Link's Timber.
Link.
Link's Timber. It's a sexual joke. Link's Timber.
Link's Timber.
Rhett's Timber and Link's Timber.
Okay.
Timber is like a tree.
This week at the Round Table of Dim Lighting, we are talking about sex. We are talking about lovemaking. We are talking about eros.
You bring it in the Greek.
And I just want to give a little warning here. There might be some specific and explicit conversation about
Graphic?
sexuals.
There'd be some graphic
Sexuals.
graphic tease
It could be graphic.
on Link's side.
It could be a lot of things. If you don't want to hear that, this episode's not for you. This entire episode is devoted to responding to your voicemails about sex. We are sexually relating to you. We're having sexual relations with
No, we're not.
the
No,
people.
no, we're not.
We are having a
No, we're
form
not.
of sexual relations
No, we're not. We aren't.
with anyone who continues to listen.
He made the man in the graphic t-shirt here with such a graphic on it.
It's an octopus.
Yeah, Octopussy is exactly what everyone's thinking. Do you understand?
See, it's begun.
You're wearing a pussy-themed shirt,
and now
you're talking about having sexual relations with all the listeners.
And they've abandoned.
And that's not coming from me. I just got on a black shirt. I wore a polo today. I haven't worn a polo in years, but I wanted to look as much like a nice boy as I possibly could.
A nice boy.
To keep my
you've been warned.
Octopussy friend
We're
in
not
line
gonna
here.
be nice boys today. We're gonna be well-rounded sex men today. Okay. I also want to invite you to dive into our Wonder Hole.
Okay, that feels sexual as well.
The entire season is out. All 6 honking episodes on the Rhett and Link channel. So if you see a really ugly thumbnail or a really unapproachable title, that's it. So click on it, because you know what? It seems like our idea
Let's not talk about
to
that.
get the algorithm
Let's
to
talk
work
about
with
that
us
next week.
it hadn't worked.
Let's talk about that next week.
So
Let's
we're
talk about our failures next week.
We're dependent on word of mouth to
Yeah.
continue to get views on
Go around your neighborhood and tell people about
on
Wonder Hole.
because
Create your own algorithm.
we are extremely proud of it.
Would you like to just start with a voicemail? Just break the seal, the sexual seal, in that way?
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
In honor of Sex Timber,
Yes.
I have a hot take to share. I think genitalia would be a beautiful name for a girl. And I will say nothing else on the matter. Love you guys.
Jenny will tell you anything you ask her.
Oh.
Jenny's an open book. Jenny will tell you anything she wanted to hear from her.
It's a flesh book. Both sides of the book are flesh, and they open.
Oh, God. I agree with this take.
What?
I think it's a beautiful name. I think it's a beautiful word. I wouldn't be so bold as to do this to a daughter. I would not. I don't think anybody should actually follow through. I'm just saying the word genitalia sounds like a sophisticated name. And Jenny is what you could call it.
Well, it should be like
short.
Jenna.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Jenna?
Hold
Jenna
on.
will tell you.
Hold on. Is Jenna short for genitalia?
Oh my God. Jenna,
is there something we didn't know?
Did we not know
No, it's
this?
Virginia, so even better.
Virginia.
Virgin, yeah.
Okay, great.
Not
Jenna,
helpful.
has anyone ever called you, like maybe a bully or just a snarky friend, genitalia?
No.
It's never come up in conversation?
It's never come up in conversation, not that way.
Okay. Should it?
Should it? Well, it has now.
Hey, well, it has now.
Genitalia. Jenna
Jenna tell you anything you ask.
genitalia. So Next time we're together, which is often, and someone asks us a question, which is often, and we don't know the answer, which is often, but you do, which is often, we now know what we are going to say often.
Genitalia.
Yeah.
Genitalia.
You can't put a pause in it. Genitalia.
Genitalia. Genitalia.
Genitalia. Genitalia.
You know what? Yes, absolutely. Please do
We're
that.
just going to be saying genitalia
Yeah.
whenever someone asks us a question. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. People stop asking us questions.
What? I asked them a question and they responded with genitalia.
Well, so we've broken the seal with a playful little, I don't know if it's sincere, but we've gotten through it. That was the hymen question.
Right. Uh-huh. Yep. So we can move on.
Now we got to go through the mucus plug.
That's something that happens before the baby comes out.
Yeah.
That's not time for sex.
Yes, it is. Not when you're in labor.
I know sometimes sex can induce labor, but so can some drug. I can't remember what it is.
Pitocin.
Pitocin, yeah.
You're holding yourself as if you're cradling your own baby.
You said mucus plug and I lost my appetite.
Sorry. I just feel like because I gave a warning at the beginning, I can say anything. And it can be edifying. Having sex while pregnant
Oh, that's good.
is totally fine. But hold on, did I see an ultrasound
That's fake.
of a baby when sex was being had? Yes.
Okay.
No.
I'm-
No, I didn't.
Why would you
say that out loud. I'm getting it confused. I saw footage of an ultrasound of the mom laughing hysterically.
Okay, well, that's quite a different scenario.
But when I first saw it, I thought I was watching.
Because of the jostling?
Yeah, I thought I was watching sex happen on an ultrasound, but then I read the caption.
Always read the caption. And by the way,
And then don't talk about, I don't know why I shared it in that way,
Well,
because basically.
now that you brought it up.
Laughing while pregnant is a good thing.
and sex while pregnant is a good thing. And just so you understand, even though I once heard a really bad joke as a middle schooler about
Say it.
an in utero child grabbing the head of a penis. I'm not going to repeat the joke because I also don't remember the setup or the punchline. But that can't happen, okay? I don't care how well endowed you are. There's something called the cervix, right? That's separating where the baby is being held and the vagina where the penis is penetrating. And so unless...
But if the baby's being born.
you don't have
know
sex
it yet.
at that point.
I bet you somebody has, because when you have, they say,
The baby doesn't come out hand first, grabbing stuff. The baby comes out head first. You might poke it on top of its soft skull, and then at that point you'd be like, and first of all, if you can tap a baby on your head with your penis during sex, congratulations. Something I never thought I'd say.
thank you for saying it. Listen,
Can I go to the next voice?
no, not yet, because I want to.
I don't know how he got here.
I want to press the point a
He
little
said
bit.
mucus plug.
I want to press the point a little
what
bit.
happened.
Okay.
When a mom is desperate to have that baby, they become more open to things. And certainly people talk about having sex in order to accelerate, not delivery, but
Labor.
Labor is the word.
Semen can induce labor.
Okay. It then follows that some people, some moms to be have shown up at the hospital and they've been frustrated. Sometimes the hospital's like, you know what? You're not ready. We're going to send you away. And then you put 2 and 3 together. What are you going to get?
5.
You're going to get sex in the hospital.
That's not advised, though.
That then, if it continued through like the first contraction, I'm just saying, I bet it's happened. Anything that could happen has probably happened.
Right.
I bet it's happened.
It's probably happened.
Now, I have nothing to do with that. But I just wanted anyone
I'm not
listening
responsible for
to
it if it
know
happened.
that it's
If people have sexual relations in a hospital, I got nothing to do with it.
And then that while
Genitalia.
delivering a baby.
Genitalia, I got nothing to do with it. She was with me the whole time. I got an alibi.
By show of hands, do you agree?
I don't remember the last part, but yes.
Okay, good.
Let's hear another voicemail.
Hi, guys. My name is Sierra, a longtime listener. Love you guys. And I did have a question for Sextember. I know you guys got married to your wives like a year-ish apart or some decent amount of time apart. And all of that to say, obviously, Link had sex first. So I was wondering, based on, like, Rhett's personality, I would have thought that as soon as, Link got back from the honeymoon or soon thereafter, he would have bombarded you, Link, with questions about how it went, I guess. I don't know. I was just curious if that was something that was actually discussed between you guys, since there was like a significant period between when Link was able to begin having sex with his wife versus when Rhett got to have sex with his wife. Thanks, guys. Love you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I had an entire year, not an entire year. No, an entire year.
Yeah, an entire year.
I got married on May 27th.
Almost
you got
exactly
married
a year.
June 3rd of the next year.
Uh-huh.
I had over a year head start on you.
Yeah, and now that this is being brought up, I feel like I got a bone to pick with you. Because if this was the other way around, you know me. I would have been giving you a play-by-play. I would have told you everything that you needed to know. As far as I remember, you didn't tell me a damn thing.
I don't remember telling you a damn thing because I was looking out for you. I didn't want to make you stumble.
I think that
you were trying to be celibate.
I think you were a little squirrely. I think you were a little squirrely about talking about sex at that period
I think
of your
I
life.
was.
And I would have definitely been like, let me give you the highlights. I don't want to talk. I don't want you to stumble now. I don't want to tell you too much that you start stumbling.
Don't
start masturbating again.
I didn't want to rub it in, so you would, I guess, start rubbing it out, or have sex with your. What was she called then?
She was called a fiance.
Fiance.
Yeah.
Plus,
you didn't tell me anything.
It was. I think I was pretty private about it.
You were.
It wasn't. And I think you might have been too. I think we both might have been pretty private about it.
I was less private, man. Less private about that kind of stuff.
That has to be true.
Because I would talk to you about other adventures.
But you also wouldn't. You didn't like question me. Like according to the caller, the assumption was that you would corner me and barrage me with questions.
I think I was just trying to be sensitive.
It is kind of hard to say. I think
it was a long time ago.
It's 26 years ago, and I kind of fell off the map a little bit. I mean, we went from seeing each other all the time to then I got married and I moved out, and you were still living on the edge of campus in that apartment with like all of these guys.
A rotating crew.
Our lives for that year until you got married were like the most different. That was the window of most difference and unparalleledness in our entire lives, if you think about it. Christy was starting a job. We had moved into a house. We were taking care of a dog. We were just overwhelmed with year one of marriage. And Christy and I we always use it as an opportunity with like newlyweds to say, it gets better. If it's anything like our first year of marriage, you better hope it gets better because there was so much we had to figure out. And yes, we were figuring out sex
but not figuring out enough to tutor anybody else.
Definitely not. It was a difficult little window of time where so much was changing. So I'm going to put a lot of it on that. Because then you got married and our lives got parallel again.
Mm-hmm.
Then we were still doing our stuff.
We lived the furthest apart after we got married because we were in Chapel Hill. You were in Apex. That was the furthest That's the furthest apart we ever lived.
Yeah.
Before 1984.
That's right. But we had an appointment.
But we were working.
Once a week we would get together.
Yeah.
But hold on, we got to keep this on the sex topic. We're getting a little off sex topic.
Yep.
So I wasn't gushing about it.
Were you gushing at all?
I was gushing.
Okay. As much as you thought you would?
Sure, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't know that there'd be a dog watching. You know, we were taking care of a Weimaraner.
a big one.
Yeah, he could sit and still have eye level with
And they
the bed.
have a judgy look.
So he slept at the foot of the bed.
Weimaraners are very, regal.
But we didn't put him out,
That's all you got?
and he wasn't even our dog. So as
You
sensitive.
didn't put him out of the room?
Mm-mm.
He was crate trained, right?
He was on a bed. Yeah, he went in a crate in the garage.
Having sex in front of your own dog is one thing. Having sex in front of somebody else's dog feels like something you got to ask permission for. Feels like something you got to talk to the owners about.
Yeah, I didn't ask permission for that. Or
The things your dog has seen.
oh yeah, if dogs could talk, boy.
I don't think I would have sex in front of somebody else's dog.
For as much as we talked about it, not much there.
I'd have sex in front of somebody else's reptile pet, but I don't think I would house sit for somebody who owns a reptile, so it probably would never happen.
I recommend it.
Which part?
All of it. Sleep is so important to me.
Yeah, well, you're in bed like by 9 or 9:30 every night because you love to sleep so much.
Sometimes 8:45.
10:30 for me. I love it.
You know, some nights you just collapse into bed and instead of actually resting, you toss and turn, waking up sore the next morning, or you just feel blah the next day.
Yes, those nights are the worst, but thanks to my new Lisa mattress, those nights are a thing of the past.
They have this hybrid cooling model that, because I already had a Lisa mattress, we got a new one sent to us. Jamie took it, and apparently your cat loves it.
Yeah.
So it's feline approved, but you can tell, you sleep hot.
Yeah. Like,
And you can tell that it demonstrably makes you cooler at night.
very much so.
So no overheating, no night sweats.
And I've had a Lisa mattress for years as well, and I always look forward to coming back to my bed, and I'm always like a little bit sus about the beds in any place that we go because I sleep so good at home.
Yeah, the best part is Lisa really cares about more than just selling a mattress. They're designed and assembled in the US, and they've won awards like Best Hybrid Mattress from Wirecutter, and they even donate thousands of mattresses to people in need every year.
So if better sleep has been on your list, this is your sign. Go to lisa.com for 20% off mattresses, plus get an extra $50 off with promo code EAR.
That's LisaLEESA.com, promo code EAR for 20% off mattresses, plus an extra $50 off.
Support Ear Biscuits and let them know we sent you after checkout. Lisa.com, promo code EAR. Next question.
Hi, Lincoln Rhett. This is Mads from Northern Alberta, Canada, calling about a question I have for you guys. I want to know what is your most embarrassing / cringy moment in the bedroom besides peeing the bed. Love you guys. Bye.
Most embarrassing / cringy moment in a sexual sphere is really what she's asking. You never been embarrassed? You never, I mean, come on. There's always the baseline, an ill-timed poot.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just trying to think of something besides a fart.
Whoops.
Which has happened. I'll just take credit for all of them.
When a fart happens during sex, yeah, I
officially take credit for all the farts.
Rhett takes credit for all of
that
them.
have taken place in my bedroom.
I tend to think of them as butt queefs in a sexual context.
Okay.
And that makes them okay.
Okay.
That helps me. So take that as you will.
Of course, there's been some.
If that helps you.
There's been some ill-timed
Vomiting?
emissions.
Oh, okay, go.
Maybe
go.
what we call an early admission, the early admission process.
Okay. You got the Regal card or whatever.
You apply early to college. That's the early admission. Early emission is something when you apply yourself a little too early in the bedroom, and what you thought might have been a little bit more fun times ends up being more cuddling than you were planning on. Yeah.
It happens. There's also the opposite, which some refer to as the whiskey dick.
Yep. Okay. That's nothing to complain about.
For whatever substance. Well, yeah. I mean, if it's an extreme one, if it's just flopping around.
Oh well, you're losing your erection,
like a windsock at a local airport.
But if you're talking about like a SSRI induced endurance,
well,
that's just something to be embraced.
Well, of course I'm not talking about that, but with anything like that, you can go too far, and then you're just, you're not contributing.
Well, there's that.
That's frustrating.
There's that religious philosophy of some kind. I don't know what it is. It's those people who think that you basically get right to the edge of ejaculation and then you hold it and you keep the energy and you take that into your life. And so these people are always having sex but never coming.
What?
Yes,
blue balls.
We heard about this through a person who knew a person. It was like several steps removed from somebody we didn't know. But they were blue balling it all the time for spiritual enhancement.
And it could be for athletic enhancement. It could be for I've heard it for many reasons, but I can't say I've ever tried it. The moment I start thinking about trying it, there are other factors that override that decision.
Yeah. I don't think
all of biology,
but
all of evolution.
I don't think it works. I don't think you can be like, I got to pitch a big game tomorrow. I'm not going to come tonight. Really? That's superstition, man. I don't think that does anything. Does that have any,
well,
really?
It relaxes you. There's a reason why you go to sleep. But there's also post-coitus clarity.
Oh yeah.
Right? So that's a positive. You get mental clarity, but you get physical just floppiness. So you want to be able to physically perform, you gotta stop short. But if you want to mentally perform, you gotta go all the way.
If you want to make decisions. But half of the battle in a physical performance is the mental aspect.
The best, it just it made me think of the tangential property of good lovemaking, which is the ability to be able to make sound decisions while making love. And I'm talking about the lovemaking process.
Yeah, okay.
There are times, if we're going on a romantic trip, I'll try to map things out in my head. I'll try to have a plan, and I'll hold on to it loosely. But something that just strings things out. So when the passion really spikes, a little redirection.
Yeah.
A little something different. Let's go make a coffee.
Now that's an interesting one. That's a real left turn.
Sometimes if you want to stretch it out to be like an afternoon and an evening affair, at a certain point, you're just saying, you know what? I'm going to hop up and I'm going to make a coffee. I have done that. And then the making of the coffee is part of the love making.
Okay, so are you talking about a Keurig? Because that's not very sexy. Are you talking about an espresso machine? And now a real espresso machine?
That's got a vibration to it.
That's sexy. That's a sexy sound.
But then it also...
That's pretty sexy.
The grinding of the beans.
The grinding is sexy.
Oh yeah, I want to grind that beans.
That's not sexy. That's scary. Keurig is not sexy though. I think maybe a Nespresso has a slightly sexier sound because it's more Italian.
Yeah, Clooney was a spokesman for that.
Yeah.
Sexy guy.
So okay.
So yeah, I'm getting into unsolicited lovemaking tips.
Mid-sex coffee.
And it might be let's go over here and look out the window.
We've kind of gotten off track a little bit. Because what was your answer for the cringiest moment?
Oh, I'm deflecting. Okay. How am I going to tell? I'm not allowed to tell this story completely.
Well, that's no fun.
But if you don't put it on TikTok or Facebook or whatever we put all the clips on, then and if I tell it in the right way, then I won't get in trouble. And yeah, I think I'll make this my story to tell.
Why don't you just make it like you were with somebody else besides your wife?
Yeah,
and then we'll put that on TikTok. It wasn't about you, honey.
As far as anyone knows, you weren't there.
I was trying to protect you.
Why do you use that voice? It's like that's now become like that's the energy I'm channeling.
That's how I imagine you arguing with Christy. Didn't I tell you I was trying to protect you?
Where did this story start? Well, I'm gonna start a little late.
After coffee.
This is after
After the second coffee.
This was after coffee, and I was rummaging around, doing an inspection. I'm trying to use terms to obfuscate the specifics.
What kind of inspection?
It's like you got to look under the hood.
Okay, all right.
Right? And it was involved. I was very involved. And then I just needed a little breather. And I periscoped up just to get a little breather, how you do in a submarine. And based on the reaction I got I was like, what's wrong? What? And my face was covered in blood. I was like, what? I didn't know. I was like, what? And then I'm like touching my face, and there's and I'm not, and it was just all types.
Okay, you gotta keep
all types of blood.
Keep going with the story. I know where this goes.
And come to realize, just to fast forward to the end, it was 2 weeks earlier I had gone scuba diving. And I had one of my sinuses.
I need to go make a coffee.
Erupted. One of my sinuses kind of exploded, and it was really painful at the time. And then, just the pressure, and then I didn't equalize.
It happens.
And it really
unpleasant.
It really hurt, and it felt like my eyeball was gonna explode out of my skull. But then, the next day I was pretty much fine, I think. And then 2 weeks later, to the moment that I was,
scuba diving in a different way.
Yeah. It's just my sinus released all of this, injury. Like a blood clot. It released a blood clot, which is
this is so unpleasant.
Which is very healthy
to
do, but it scared the shit out of us. I didn't know
because you didn't know where it was coming from.
And it was like Woo! It was a lot. It was a lot. And but you know what? At that point, it was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a shower.
And maybe both of you.
And maybe that could be sexy. Yeah, no, there had to be a complete stoppage of play. You know?
Oh yeah.
There was a complete stoppage of play. And it was like, okay, we're gonna, you know what? We're gonna
cover the field.
We're gonna
cover
Right.
bring the guys out to cover the field. People go to the snack bar.
Right. Yeah, it's like I don't know if we're gonna have to reschedule this till tomorrow or
The makeup game.
rain delay, so to speak.
Right.
But yeah, it took over an hour to just get back to a place where we could forget that happened.
Was this at home?
No.
This was on a trip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If it was at home, you probably just would have been like,
Right.
cancel the game.
Yes, exactly.
But you're on vacation, like we got to make up for this.
We were on a romantic weekend away.
Ew, you ruined it.
Whew. That was wild. I mean, you
I
asked.
haven't had anything like that happen, thank God.
It's funny, you know.
It's funny. That's what we talked about.
I'm sorry, it was so gross.
It was all on you, though.
I had to share it. It was all.
It was all on you.
It was all.
I mean, it was actually a little bit on her too, but it's
I didn't say that.
it was your fault.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd have nothing to beat that. Let's hear another one.
Hey, boys. I just had a question. What is a fun and creative way to break out of a dry spell? You know, these things can happen from time to time, no fault from either partner, but I'm just trying to think of a fun and creative way that I can do that my partner will not be able to say no to. All right. Love you guys. This is Alex from Sanford. Bye.
From Sanford?
North
North Carolina? Or there's other
Sanfords.
Sanfords.
There's other Sanfords. We're going to assume North Carolina. Okay, dry spells. First of all, something that your partner can't say no to. I mean, no still means no, even within the context of a relationship. But
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Baby, I got this blood clot that's ready to just blast. Do you want to be the recipient or not? Because it's ripe. I think that's what I might say if I had to choose.
I think we can bypass. There's stuff that you might hear if you were to like ask AI this question, right? Like, okay, role play, sex toys, get one of those games that like makes you talk sexy to each other. Sure, those are all good. You can do those if you want. But you said something that she can't say no to. So
this is tough when, I mean, I don't have an answer, so I'm gonna give a little preface,
Okay.
and then maybe you have the answer but I just want to acknowledge that, like he said, you know, life is complicated, and sometimes it's nobody's fault, and it's probably a good idea for it not to be about fault when you're trying to rebuild a bridge, and that it might not be you might not have to cross a relational chasm, but just the practical chasm could. You know, a little crack, the practicalities can turn into a chasm. You know, life gets in the way of the things that we that matter to us, but also feel good. You know, sex can become expendable because it seems like it's just like icing on top, and you can start to feel like that it's easy to deprioritize it because you can technically go without it.
Right.
But then, you know, and you gotta be in touch with your needs, and if you're able to be in touch with your partner's needs, there's lots of complications here, and I think this is a very common thing. You know, I've certainly experienced that. There's different there's different seasons of life where you might be hit with something that we're not just talking about weeks, we might be talking about months. Mm-hmm. You know, life throws all types of things at you. And having a mentality of recapturing intimacy is is important, and I do think that timing and circumstances are so huge in this, and there's so much good advice out there that, I just think it's not the type of thing that we should get discouraged and let it create more of a chasm than necessary. Let's destigmatize this. That's all I'm trying to do. But in terms of like giving like really helpful, well thought out, educated advice, there's a plethora of that out there. Matter of fact, there's an Instagram that I'm going to look up and I'll recommend at the end of this thing. But I just wanted to give that as a preface because I just feel the energy that this is a part of relationships. But now come up with something that's either really good or at least really funny to say.
Well, before we get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that the oversimplified answer to this is talking about it, right? There is communicating about it in a way that is not, like you said, blame-oriented. Like, we're not having sex right now, says the person who wants to the person who seems like they don't.
Uh-huh.
Is a pretty common thing, right? And I think that if you're the partner who's like, I wish there was more sex in this relationship, then I think that approaching it from an accusatory standpoint is not the way.
Mm-mm.
But I do think that bringing it up and letting your perspective be known and your needs be known is important so you can have a conversation about it. Because I do think that there are times when there are things that get in the way and it almost begins to seem like, well, that feels like it's going to be a little bit of work right now that I don't want to do. Like you can start seeing sex as that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I agree. If you find yourself in that situation, beginning to actually have a conversation about it, I think is the most important step. Like that's the seal that needs to be broken. If you're not communicating about it, which I do think is also common,
right?
Lots of time can pass, and then it can be like, well, we're not really talking about it, and now I don't know how to talk about it. But if you're looking for like a
irresistible
something your wife can't say no to, I think we've employed this type of tool before. I think maybe we were just really impacted by those Scared Straight TV show where they would bring the military guy in the van and he would come and take your kid and try to get the kid to. What you doing? Like, what you looking up?
I was just looking on Instagram. No, I was trying to find that thing. I'm listening. I'm trying to find the Instagram people though.
I'm trying to remember the situation that we talked about this. I feel like can you hire someone who's a Sergeant Slaughter type character, military personality, but sexy military personality.
Okay.
So kind of like a Dom situation.
Mm-hmm.
But this person enters into your abode to tell you both to have sex. They don't watch. It's not like a dog that you're babysitting.
Yeah.
But you hire somebody to basically command you. Like
this will definitely
the
work.
Sex police.
Have them come out of the closet.
The sex police, like
in the bedroom.
You have been selected. You have been selected by the government. This might be a little bit too close to home with what's happening in our country at this point.
You've been selected by the government to have sex with
random police officers coming into people's homes. So maybe this isn't. Maybe it shouldn't be police, but it's some kind of like sex authority that shows up and says like, and you hire them and they just show up and they come there like, if you don't come, you're coming with me or something like that. There's something, and then they leave. And they've given you maybe some tools or something, they like have a trunk. They have a trunk of very clean things.
So it's like a singing telegram, but instead of singing, They're berating you about having sex?
Yeah, and you're left with no choice. After they leave, after they walk out, they're like,
you're so horny at that point.
you're like, listen, if we don't have sex, we're gonna get in trouble. We're gonna be in trouble with that lady or man or whoever it was. You can select it from a website, whatever you want.
Yeah,
Whatever
there's
figure you
nothing
want.
like feeling physically threatened to make you want to just rout each other.
There's a trunk of toys. There's a trunk of toys.
I just don't think it should be. I mean, it's got to be tailored to whatever she's into. I mean, you know, some people might want a fireman to show up. Some people might want a dentist to show up.
Okay, I like this. What if it is a scenario? Now, interestingly enough, hopefully we will. I don't know exactly when we're going to experience this thing. I can't remember when it is, but we've got like an experience coming up that, you know, the one it's not sexual, the one that Jesse signed us all up for that we're going to that. I look forward to talking about after it happens. But novel experiences and sort of role playing scenarios. I think that, you know, you can hire somebody to come to your house and do like a party game. Like a Clue or a murder mystery, they come to your house and they're trained to like lead people through it or whatever. There's got to be somebody who can come and basically come to your house and convince you that you're the only two people left, and for the sake of the planet, you have to have sex or something. You choose your own adventure, and you do it together, and you'd be like, okay,
this doesn't sound
Thursday night,
like throwing moisture on a dry spell. This sounds like something that like if you're just doing, if you've done everything that you can think of, then you got to bring in someone to another person to role play.
I'm just saying, why not go all the way out of your dry spell?
Can the drill sergeant just be a sex therapist?
That's not as fun as the scenarios that I'm envisioning.
All right.
Let's throw a waterfall on your dry spell.
He said the funny one. So
Sergeant Slaughter is.
I agree that was funny. That's what I agree about that.
Okay. Maybe we should start a business. What if we showed up and told you to have sex? Would you? And Jenna comes with. Jenna will tell you. Jenna tell you to have sex. It's just Jenna.
Yeah, this is
Jenna shows up and Jenna
in the
tell you to
car.
have sex.
Yeah.
We're staying in the car. We're her getaway vehicle.
We have a van that has her picture on the side of it that just says Jenna tell you
to have sex.
And Jenna comes in and says, "Y'all have sex now," or whatever, however you want to say it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say it how I want to say it.
And you leave a trunk.
Yes.
And we've upcharged on that
toys.
big time.
Leaving the trunk or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've sold it to
Well, it's like the thing.
upcharge.
It's like the mini bar in your hotel room. If you use it, you pay for it.
Yes. Yeah. I obviously.
Because then we have a cleanup crew that comes in afterward.
We got microchips on everything. Mm-hmm. We got microchips on every toy. We know if you used it. You can't hide it. You can't. We don't have cameras because we're not those kinds of guys. We got microchips.
Right. Next voicemail.
Hi, Red and Link. My name is Christmas and I'm from Utah. My question is...
Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
This is for September. My question for September is, where is the wildest place you guys have had sex with your wives? Love you guys. Bye.
Christmas from Utah.
Okay.
It's always Christmas in Utah.
What's the wildest place that you've ever made a sex encounter? The wildest place.
Jesse and I don't tend to be, we usually are like, let's just go home. There's a nice bed there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been a couple of vehicular encounters. I'm a big man though, you know.
Vehicular pussy slaughter.
Okay. You said it.
Hey, that's why they call me Sergeant Slaughter. Sorry, y'all. It's just
I've done that.
I put a warning at the beginning.
I've done that a couple of times, and here's my assessment of car sex. less fun than you thought it would be.
Yeah, that's true. But it's fun. It's fun novel in a novel way.
There's only so many places around these parts where you can get to a place where you feel like you could have sex in a car.
Which brings
This
me
ain't North Carolina anymore.
Yeah, I mean, when the kids were younger and we go out on a date, sometimes I'd be like, let's just not go back home. Then you're going to talk to the babysitter for 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Those were different days for sure.
If we go home, you're going to talk to the babysitter for 30 minutes.
Yo, my wife will talk to a babysitter.
And then I'm just going to be upstairs. Just waiting.
Naked on the bed with a coffee.
Just making coffee. So I would use that. I mean, that was a compelling argument, which led to the Boy Scout encounter, which I've told before. I'm not telling that one again. You can look that one up. But yeah, it wasn't dark, and they were coming down a trail, and I just thought it was the dead end of a road out in the wilderness, in the mountains.
Yep.
But what's the wildest place? I mean, a construction site, but still in the car.
Oh, you didn't like go into a half-framed house?
No, it was more of like they were breaking ground.
And you parked there?
Yeah, but there were like mounds of dirt.
I got you. I turned you on.
And I got
mounds.
We parked behind a mound of dirt.
Okay.
This is back in North Carolina.
Well, of course.
Also broad daylight. I don't know. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
Risky.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not me, man.
The foreman shows up.
There was a hiking situation that was not carried out to completion. I'm trying to remember. That was out here. There's a hiking situation.
Yeah.
Where there was a place where there was side trails.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to a place, and now first of all, we didn't have a blanket. We weren't ready. There wasn't going to be any lying down. So, but there was a there's a height difference between my wife and I. I'm 6'7", she's 5'3".
Yeah.
So we have to find uneven ground.
Uneven ground.
You know, I got to perch her up on a mound.
Okay. A boulder.
And so that commenced, and then we would hear somebody on the trail, the main trail.
Right.
And then you stop.
Yeah.
And then after 3 or 4 times of this,
yeah,
I was like, this was fun, but I feel like I've gotten all I need out of it right now. We can finish this later. So
back in the car.
So the fact that we could have been caught by people, maybe Boy Scouts,
mm-hmm.
That's probably the craziest thing that has happened. I told you recently though that we were on an international flight, or maybe it was a flight where there was a big bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I went into the bathroom at the front of the plane, and I was like, this bathroom is large enough to have sex in. That's the first thing I thought, because most plane bathrooms are just large enough for
half of you.
I can't even have sex with myself in most of them.
Okay.
You know?
Fair enough.
And but I went in there and I was
they need to put that sign up there on it, no smoking, no vaping.
No masturbation.
God.
But this one was big enough, and I thought for a second, if there was ever a chance to enter the Mile High Club, that this would be it. But then I was like, but
I'm not.
Just for the story, maybe it would have been worth it. But I didn't, so I haven't done that yet.
Yep, you'd be telling that story right now.
Should have done it. Can you get kicked off a plane for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. They'll ground a plane before its destination too, if there's not already an air marshal on board that can arrest you.
If you have sex with your partner in a bathroom
on the plane,
they will ground it.
They will ground it, and
even if you're quick about it.
I think it depends.
It depends on how cool everyone is, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, you could. It's a federal. Yeah, you'll get in trouble.
Yeah, there's a couple that did it in their seats.
What?
Yeah, they were under a blanket in their seats, and
That's just not.
yeah, that's too much.
Uh-huh.
Because then you're involving other people.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Right,
I wouldn't do. What about in a restaurant bathroom? That's not illegal, right?
Well, technically yes, but they won't. They usually won't call the police for that. They'll just kick you out of the
Yeah, they'll just be
restaurant.
like, "Come on, guys."
But they didn't know. They never found out.
I've been kicked out of a bathroom before, but because not for that, but for implied. It was implied that that's what I was doing, and I was like, because it was a gay club, and my friend and I went in there at the same time because the line was long, and we're like, we'll just go, and it was a one stall. It's like we'll just wait for each other to pee and rotate, and we got kicked out. It was implied that we were.
They were just waiting to see two people come in there.
Yeah. It was either implied that we were having sex or we were doing drugs. And I was like, I promise we weren't. We're peeing and then rotating.
Okay.
But you still get kicked out. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. I also feel like that's something, it's like
Tell
when
us, Link.
when you're younger, you do it more in other places because you can't go home and have relations.
Right. Yeah.
So you're like, we got to find a spot to do it.
I wasn't having sex at that point in my life.
That was a college baseball field was mine. My most ridiculous.
Target dressing room.
Just on the
There you go.
target.
Pitcher's mound?
I was on the third base line.
Oh, that's
Nice. Solid.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
This is at night, I assume.
Yeah, the turf wasn't great for my knees. It was fun though.
Didn't tell you about the time?
Didn't tell you.
Didn't tell you about third base?
That is a wide open space. People could enter from any. There's so many points of view of that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, there's like having sex at the 50-yard line at your
That's amazing.
on a football field.
Hey, it's amazing. I mean, that is like almost exhibitionist.
Like something, the lights could come on at any time, like all the lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Was it?
that would have been crazy.
Was it? I'm gonna ask a follow up. You don't have to answer it.
All right.
Was this premeditated or was this impulsive?
Impulsive.
Just like, here we go.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Third base.
Now, Target dressing rooms are rickety.
Yes.
And
you stand.
But they don't even a Target restroom, like you can see it's like a bathroom stall. You can see the feet next to you, right?
Some of them have doors all the way
No, they're closed
down.
all the way. I've had some sexual contact with my wife in a dressing room.
Okay.
Not full on.
You're already changing.
You're already changing, and you might need someone in there to help you.
And if the door went all the way down, and if you're just quiet.
Just quiet.
Similar heights also help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there is a little bench, though.
That's true.
There's a little bench.
Yeah, there was it was a nice restaurant, but it had it was one of those restaurants that it had closets that were just stalls.
Unisex.
They were unisex, and then there wasn't and then the sinks were out front for everyone to see. So you'd come out of a closet, and then you would wash your hand in a communal space. And there was a little, hey, go to the far one, and then when you hear a knock, when you hear the special knock, unlock the door, and I will enter. So we didn't enter at the same time. There was a whole charade of, well, I'm entering this, I'm going in the bathroom by myself, and I'm going to the far stall and giving it a knocky knock. No one's answering, so I guess it's empty. I'm going to go in there.
Right.
And then you do the reverse on the way out.
Oh, you did the reverse inside? What's the reverse?
The reverse on the way out is the...
okay, so...
we exited one at a time.
All right. So you had sex in a restaurant bathroom. I know what restaurant you're talking about. It wasn't...
Because I recommended it to you.
It wasn't... It was while
For
you were...
sex? Did you recommend it for sex
Yes,
or for the food?
He did.
Oh.
Yeah.
The food is great as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Food is great.
It's one of our favorite restaurants, and I want it to
It
stay that
wasn't-
way, so I'm not going to say what it was.
It wasn't a great sex bathroom. Like it wasn't moody enough.
But
it was a little.
can you
It
just-
almost felt a little skanky.
Can you tell me just tell me how you did it?
Hands on sink, I think.
Oh, I had a sink in there.
Oh,
the
yeah.
sinks were on the outside.
Well, then crap. Maybe it was a railing. I mean, there ain't no touching of toilet. If that's what you're asking.
That's what I was making sure.
You're staying away from the toilet.
Right.
Maybe one leg up on toilet. Seat.
Okay.
It's been a long time since we've been down that road.
Public sex?
Yeah, gotta get back into that.
Okay, well, there you have it. Nothing too exciting, except, I mean, Jenna's third base, I
That
think.
is crazy.
That's a good
wins
one.
this round.
That's a good one.
I mean, what? Yeah, what? So you
Was he a third baseman?
No, he was an outfielder.
damn. So, but did you literally like round first base, second base, third base, and so you're on your way home, and then you literally did home base before you got to home base.
Yeah.
Did you do that? Did you follow the nomenclature? Let's take a walk around the bases and do what each of them.
We did not do that.
No, because they had sex on third base, which doesn't make any sense.
The baseline.
She said the baseline.
The baseline.
Along the baseline.
They were on their way to home.
On your way home.
And they didn't make it. They prematurely home based. What is like first base is what? Kissing?
This is controversial.
I know we've talked.
I think you got to start. Home run is penetrative. Sex.
Why weren't you on the home plate? I mean, it was
dirty.
right there.
It's dirty there.
Yeah. We weren't on the dirt. We were on the turf.
Turf, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he didn't bring out one of those like umpire brooms, like.
That would have been great.
So you got to work your way backwards. If you're having intercourse at home plate, then I've always thought, I just think that third base is oral. Second base is hand job / fingering.
Okay.
And first base is kissing. Does that feel like a good system?
I think that's a good system.
Yeah.
That.
That's what
I mean, that's a way to spice things up. Let's go to an abandoned ball field and.
It doesn't have to be abandoned.
Well, you don't want anybody to.
You don't
be
get
there.
tetanus. Currently, no one is playing a game there. Yes.
Yeah. There were no
Abandoned
games happening.
is a little bit too.
That is
extreme.
wild. That is wild. I am so jealous.
You'll get kicked out if there's a game going on.
Yeah.
jealous.
You also won't get to second base.
I mean,
You probably won't get to first.
I almost like baseball now. Like that's what your story's done for me. I'm like, I think I might be a baseball fan.
It is the best field to have sex on, I think, because if you're on a football field, you got to come up with 10 different things to do if you're going to go down from end zone to end zone. If you're doing like a full field drive, you know, basketball, what's a 3-pointer? I don't even know. It's also wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's move on. We're getting to some good stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Brace yourselves.
Hey guys, so excited for Sextember this year. Now I won't say my name for sake of my partner, but basically my boyfriend has a thing for flatulence, and as a certified gassy girl, I find this just delightful, but of course there is some shame about this. So I was just wondering if you could just give him a little assurance, maybe a little pep talk, so we can break the stigma around this for his sake. Thanks.
So he's a fart man. He likes the farts.
Okay.
And
Well, I feel like I already blew my best advice with the butt queef.
you did a little bit.
I think that's it. I really do. We're supposed to give him a pep talk. Hey, you like what you like, buddy? Because he likes it. But he doesn't want to. He feels a little embarrassed about it.
Here's the thing.
And apparently she likes it.
There's nothing to be ashamed about here, buddy. This is all just a stigma that we've created. Think about it. The body is a tube, right? You got one end, you got a little mouth on it. You got the other end, you got a little asshole on it. For some reason, at some point, we determined that all the noises that come out of this part are fine.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And then if the other end of the tube makes noises, that we're ashamed of it. But think about all the things that a rectum can do. Think of all the noises it can make, all the pitches it can hit. Some people can play music with it. Maybe you should work on that.
Oh yeah, a little symphony.
It's not that anything is wrong with you. It's that something's wrong with all the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We need to get more comfortable. It's just flesh flapping. You know, flesh flapping that's a sexy thing if you think about it that way. There's all types of flaps of flesh that can flap, and let your flesh flap. That's what I'm saying. Let all your flesh flaps flap. If you're into it, get into it, baby. Next voicemail.
I think we solved it.
Hi, Written Link. My name is Fox, and it is Sextember as I am sending this to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a nice Sextember question for you. I have been in a friendship, we'll say, with somebody for a little over a year now, and at first wasn't super interested. But things get pretty hot and heavy, and I really have a crush on them. And they feel the same way about me, but they are polyamorous and I am monogamous, very much so. So that's one of the main reasons why we have decided not to date each other. But the more we are not dating each other, the more I want to actually have a relationship with him. I just am not comfortable having sex with multiple partners at one time altogether.
Altogether.
So I guess I'm just asking for advice. What advice do you have? Do you have advice for how to get more comfortable with that? Or what I should do in this situation? Should I just leave it? Just cut it down to just friends? I don't really want to, though. But yeah, again, my name is Fox, and I love you guys. And also, I would love to hear Jenna and Logan's thoughts on this as well. All right, thank
Logan
you.
ain't here. This is Jamie.
Jamie.
But that's fine.
We got to first just get
Logan's on dispatches.
Let's get some definitions. I don't think that Fox thinks that polyamory is an orgy. I think that it's just the way that it was phrased at that one part made it sound like that's what they thought.
Okay. Let's assume that's not it.
You are in sexual relationships with multiple people at the same time, not necessarily in the same moment.
Man,
we think about this, brother.
I don't know. Jenna, your head was moving all over the place over there.
I've been through this situation before.
Oh, okay. Well, you should talk about it.
Okay. It's tricky. Yeah, you like the person, but it's just different viewpoints on sex and moving forward. The person I was seeing made it very clear right off the front that he was poly, which is totally fine with me. And we were good in the between stuff, and then as things started to get more serious, it was like, okay, well, this is a little too complicated for me, because then it gets into, there's so many different types of poly relationships as well. So like there's so many different scenarios, but he wasn't like
give me an example, because I don't even know what you mean by that. Like some people just have sex with anybody they want.
It's not so much that as they'll have multiple people that they'll have multiple partnerships, I guess would be the right way to say it. So like when he and I first started seeing each other, he told me out the bat he was poly, but he was not currently in any relationship with any of those other people he was seeing. So at the time I was like, we're just casually dating still. We're still figuring things out. And I was unsure how I felt about the whole poly thing, but was open to the idea. And then as things started to get more serious, then it's like, okay, it kind of could become you're sharing time with someone, or you meet the other person in this relationship and then see if that is a like mutual care, or does that become sexual? Not always. Not every poly relationship that you have with someone means that you are having sexual relations with the other people in that relationship.
Gotcha.
So eventually we've both were like, this is a little too much. I respect you. I care about you, but I don't want to move forward kind of thing. So I guess I would have more questions about what kind of poly relationship Fox's partner is dealing with at the moment. But if there's already like that's not something that they want to do, it's probably best to not move further into feeling mode. Like clearly they're sexually attracted to each other. That's one thing. But if you have those stronger feelings connected and you want to form those bonds, but you don't want to form those bonds when they are with other people, that's a deal breaker for a lot of people with poly.
Because if you assume that like the simplest version of this, that neither of them are in a relationship with anybody right now, but Fox's disposition is monogamy and this other person's disposition is polyamory. I'm totally speaking just off of intuition and some anecdotal evidence. But it seems to me that the only way that it ever seems to work is if you have two people who have a polyamorous disposition before they know each other, who then meet each other and are like, yes, we both think this way about relationships, and now we're going to begin conducting a relationship like that. What happens a lot is you've got something that starts as a monogamous relationship, and then one person decides that they want to be polyamorous, and then tries to talk the other person into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how is that ever going to work? Really? I mean, maybe I don't. Or you might have two people who are monogamous who then they both sort of independently decide that they want to be polyamorous. That also feels like a really difficult situation. I'm not prescribing. I'm just saying that feels complicated, right? So the idea you got somebody who's like, I'm monogamous and I'm not. If you're like, I'm monogamous, but I'm going to change my fundamental disposition and POV on relationships for you. How is that? How is that not destined to be a huge complicating factor in a relationship, which already has a bunch of complicating factors because it's a relationship?
I just, I'm much less comfortable with someone trying to get somebody to be poly when they're not than getting someone who's poly to be monogamous, because like that seems like, well, if you want to be with me, I'm monogamous and that's the type of relationship I want. So if you really want that, are you willing to give up that? I don't know if you call it a practice, or I don't know if people start to see it as an identity of sorts. I know too little about it to speak about it. But it's like, the easiest analogy for me, and I don't think this is a really great analogy probably, is that if you're dating somebody not exclusively and then you're moving into an exclusive relationship, it's like that's a decision that you might want to make with somebody, or you might never want to make because that's not the type of person you are. But it seems a lot more fraught to ask somebody to become poly than for somebody to consider being monogamous because of, they want to be with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different because if you're polyamorous and you try to be monogamous, you might always have that like itch because you just make a lot of connections with people. And that's kind of where poly people come into play. They're like, well, I just can. It's this thing called compersion, where like you don't get jealousy from seeing your partners with other people. Like you feel like, no, I'm happy that you're getting this joy or whatever you're getting out of this other person. Whereas like with monogamy, a lot of times it's just like, no, like you don't want to share. Like you just feel like, how can you have so much room for me when you have room for other people? So I think that either way, if you try to fit either person in a different box, it's probably just not going to work out.
Okay, I hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tread lightly. I mean, there's other fish in the sea, and it can be a lot less fraught.
Yeah. We're not going to tell you what to do.
Take care of yourself and don't coerce anyone else.
Yeah, I just think it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
We're hearing it's not a good idea.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We're hearing that. You asked and they told you, and we listened as well.
Do we maybe have one more?
Just ending with a banger.
Well.
Hey, y'all. My name is Delaney. I'm calling from St. Petersburg, Florida. And I've loved you guys since I was in middle school, and now I'm 26 years old. But I just wanted to celebrate Sextember by asking y'all if you guys have ever had any trouble performing or, getting to that finish line with your wives, and what you did to deal with that. I'm currently going through some interesting times with my man, and just wanted some fun advice. All right, well, thank y'all. Happy Sextember. Bye.
Wow, okay. So you're going to answer this now. The interesting thing about this is that I actually had performance issues at the very beginning of my marriage.
I could see how that makes sense.
So there
was quite a buildup.
Yeah. I was 23 years old. So there was no physical challenges, but I had built up sex so much, and sex was incredible. And there was no problem like on the night of my wedding, which was, the first time I ever had sex, right? And the first time that Jesse had ever had sex. And so I'm not, in retrospect, it wasn't good sex. It was two people who had no idea what they were doing, just trying to do what they thought they should do. No one had told me about, the clitoris, however you pronounce it. And no one had told her about it either. I mean, that's where we come from, So it was definitely better for me. I got everything that I needed. But then the honeymoon, that next week, there were times when, because what I thought is like, we're going to have sex 5 times a day is what I'm thinking, right? I'm making up for all this lost time.
Yeah.
And then what ended up happening was like the second day that we're on our honeymoon, I'm noticing I'm not able to, I can't maintain my erection right now. It's like, what is happening? And there was this like mental psyching myself out that happened. And it actually took a while to get over that. And the thing that I was so like overstimulated, and there were so many expectations, and there was this, seeing this thing as this completely, almost religiously sacred experience that could only exist within the confines of marriage, that had given me this kind of weird view about it, that now that I was experiencing it, we were experiencing it, I kind of psyched myself out. But the thing that what ended up being helpful was, first of all, Jesse being very patient, but also me being patient with myself. And so what ended up happening is, if I ever felt that happening, I was like, here we are in the middle of doing stuff, and now I feel like I'm having trouble performing. There's other things that I can do right now. And what I would do...
Make a coffee?
Go scuba diving is usually the thing that I might turn to. there's other pleasurable things that we can do right now. There's other ways that I can contribute to her experience that will then like cycle me back into being ready again. And I don't even have to, it doesn't have to be something that is said, acknowledged, or brought into the space. I could be like, oh, this thing is happening right now because of something mental that goes on in my head. And I'm gonna refocus my energy in other places. And then, oh, here we go again. And that's how I worked through that at the time. And then it just ended up not being a problem again in the same way.
Yeah, because the mental aspect of it is very, very real. And, you know, it can build or spiral. But yeah, you know, calling in the mechanic, looking under the hood, in the innuendo sense, but also maybe in the sex therapy sense. And that's, I mean, I said that I wanted to make this recommendation, so I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Not putting pressure on yourself. So in other words, I don't think that the militaristic character with the trunk showing up at your house and telling you to have sex is probably the best idea. It was just a joke. Because I do think that having patience with yourself in those moments and being like, we don't got nowhere to go. We're not being timed. This isn't like a 1992 radio show where the first person to come wins a trip to Disneyland.
Oh.
So I just think that patience with yourself and patience with your partner, who it sounds like you have patience for your partner in the way that you're talking about this. So I think that's what I would say. Because I think that, especially if you're young, it's probably not an actual physical thing. It's probably a mental thing. But I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
Okay, I found it. Vanessa and Xander with an X. Vanessa Marin, couples therapist. We help couples in long-term relationships keep the spark alive. Yeah, I don't remember why or when I started following them, but like, I think that it's it's like a edifying, very approachable approach to sex therapy for those in long-term relationships. So Vanessa and Xander with an X. Yeah.
Not a triple X, though.
Check them out. All right.
Well, there we did it.
That was our sexy time.
Sextember has happened.
Do you have mental clarity?
We came. We saw. We sextembered all over. All over the place.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I should take a nap.
Maybe just have a cigarette.
We'll talk at you next week.
Hi, Rhett. Hi, Link. A while back on a podcast, you wanted to know what blind people thought you looked like. Well, I'm blind. And although I don't know what you look like, I know that your voices are pretty darn hot.
Quite a foyer.
Oh, I think you call this a foyer.
Oh, yes. Welcome to my foyer.
When you've got a chandelier that can fall and kill at least 4 people, I think it's a foyer.
This angel's genitals have been covered.
Genitals?
This angel's genitals. His genitals are covered.
The genitals are covered.
You don't have to be that sophisticated.
Watch the new episode of Wonderhole Season 2 now on the Rhett and Link YouTube channel.